Breaking counterproductive learning habits. The 4 laws of behavior change serve to provide a helpful framework for the process of breaking counterproductive learning habits, much like it did for building up new positive habits. Keep in mind that for every habit you're trying to break, you'll be much happier with the end result if you've got a plan for replacing that behavior with something more productive. So, before we proceed with the video, I'd like you to consider, what bad learning habit are you hoping to break? Keep that in mind as you watch the video. Make the cue invisible. As the cue is what begins the execution of the habit behavior, it makes sense that when you're trying to eliminate the habit, it will be important to make the cue invisible. Of course, to do this, you'll need to be very aware of exactly what cue is triggering the unwanted habit. Track your habit, paying close attention to the circumstances that lead you to follow through with the behavior. Once you feel confident that you've identified the cue that is triggering it, do what you can to remove it or alter it so its impact is lessened. For example, if the notification on your phone is sure to trigger the action of picking it up and checking your messages, remove or silence the phone so you don't hear the notification ding. Make the craving unattractive. Craving the reward that comes with your habit is one way that your habitual behavior is reinforced. So negatively altering the craving can help to eliminate the unwanted behavior. Many students struggle with the habit of staying up into the wee hours of the night and then sleeping through lecture the next morning. If this is you, you likely crave the fun that can be had by staying up late and the escape that comes from sleeping in. But what if you make that craving unattractive? Perhaps you remove all screens from your room so there's nothing to watch at night. Or set a really loud alarm for first thing in the morning so you don't get to enjoy your rest. These actions help to make the craving significantly more unattractive and can help you break your habit of staying up late. Make the response difficult, or in other words, make the habit hard. Our brain has been wired to move ahead with the habit response as soon as the cue triggers the craving response. This happens subconsciously, and without even thinking about it, you will find yourself in the midst of your habit behavior. However, if you make the response more difficult, you buy yourself some time to recognize your action and to consciously decide to resist. And as an example, imagine the habit you're trying to break is your tendency to lose hours at a time on Netflix. If you remove the app from your phone or change your password to something really complicated that you'll have to type in each time you want to log in, you've made it slightly more difficult to follow through with that habit. And in doing so, you've given yourself the opportunity to change your action. Make the reward unsatisfying. We are driven by rewards. Our brain seeks out reward and will do whatever behavior is necessary to get the reward it is craving. But what if you make the reward unsatisfying? Suddenly, your brain will be much less interested in executing that particular behavior. Carefully consider what reward you're getting as a result of following through with the habit you're trying to change. For students who procrastinate, for example, their action is rewarded by the relief that comes from avoiding hard work. Now, that's a short-sighted view of rewards, as it will feel good in the moment. However, long-term, there will be a negative price to pay when they have to cram for their exam or submit a paper late. Unfortunately, our brains struggle to favor the long-term costs when the short-term gains seem so pleasurable. So, in order to change our behavior, we have to find a way to remove the short-term gain and make the habit immediately unsatisfying. An accountability partner can be particularly helpful with this. Sharing your goal with somebody else means you now feel more accountable to following through with that habit in an effort to avoid having to admit that you fell short. In other words, procrastinating from school tasks now feels unsatisfying because it comes with the responsibility of admitting that you didn't complete your work to your accountability partner. Thinking back now to the habit you're trying to break, what strategies from this video will you try? Write down your plan, ensuring it's as specific and realistic as possible.